It's an 8-hour shift, so just sent me a message. So we're definitely on.
Okay.
Are we on the right one is the question. I know we're definitely on live, so that's good.
Okay, maybe I should reload this one then.
Yeah, let's reload it.
Oh, yeah.
Is it working?
Yeah, okay, it's working. Okay.
I'm on the wrong one then. It's not working for me.
Okay. Yeah, it's working. I will mute
Yeah,
it
there you go. Now it is.
so I can function without hearing myself in 10 seconds. Playback. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's set everything up. Hello, people. There's people. 20 what?
20 people so far.
There's 20 watching. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's say in the other one, it's it's hello. Typing is a thing. Working now. Okay. There we go. Then the other one can close that one. And we can keep an eye on this one instead. Okay, we're gonna start this thing up and then we're gonna go on with the actual topic. Okay. Let's see. There we go.
You
Hello.
look
Oh,
marvelous.
Dana's in it. Yay. I know Dana. She comes to me like every week or something. She's my friend, not a client or something. Hi, Tuxford. And oh, so many names I have no idea how to pronounce. Tanha and Otacilio.
Otacilio Silva.
Oh, that sounds very sexy. Otacilio Silva. Okay, for those who are already here, as you can see in the title, I am here today with my guest, my special guest star, YouTuber
Hello.
Shanie Entertainie. Yes. Oh, there's somebody
How's it
from
going?
your
Glad to
squadron.
be here.
There's Rhodes here. He's
Oh, yeah. Hey, Rhodes. How's it going, bud?
cool.
These guys, they love following me. No, I'm just kidding. They're good people. They're part of, they're my peeps.
Yeah, they're your peeps. That's really cool. Um, okay, today we're gonna talk about probably a couple of topics, but definitely we're gonna talk about should superheroes be sexy? Because I've noticed a trend um, lately, let's say the past 5 years or so, where superheroes are getting seriously unsexy. They're trying to make them unsexy, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that's a good development at all. And you can see it in the latest Captain Marvel. Come on,
And don't forget Thor.
oh, but what?
Oh, in the Endgame, you didn't see they made Thor fat. They took,
No.
yeah, they gave him a pot belly. I'm not even a joke.
Oh
That's
my
true.
gosh.
They
I didn't
legitimately
see
gave
that
him
one.
a pot belly.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
But okay, that's just just flat out wrong. Okay.
Sacrilegious is what that is.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, I didn't even see Endgame yet because I am so disillusioned with the
Well,
whole Captain Marvel that I'm like, okay, I'm not sure I even want to see it. Um,
spoiler alert: Thor is fat,
oh my.
and he stays fat the entire one.
Oh no. That
Yep.
is. Oh. Are you
He doesn't even do
serious,
he doesn't
Daddy?
do crunches at the end or anything. He just continues to be fat.
Oh, you're serious. That is an
Hmm.
abomination.
Yeah.
Can we? I want to see pictures. Are there pictures of this? Or is it
Yeah, you
going
could
to a
probably look it up.
spoiler?
There's definite. Dana
Thor.
CJ says Thor looks like the dude from Big Lebowski, and she's right. He totally does.
Fat. Oh my god. Okay.
You thought I was joking?
No, no. I just had. It's worth seeing it. Oh, how could they? Okay, that's okay. Seriously wrong. Anyway, so we're gonna see if who's gonna roll in, give people a bit of time to join in, and then get going with the topic.
Yeah, no, it was kind of disturbing. You watched it at first, you thought this is eventually going to change it, and then they don't change it. They just keep him. They just keep him with his potbelly the whole time, and he's a drunk, by the way, and he's a drunk, blubbering fool the whole time. And I'm like, okay, so I guess the girls don't, Next thing you're going to see them do that to Jason Momoa, and then girls are going to really go crazy.
No, no.
Jason Momoa's next, guys.
Oh,
They're going after all of
no.
them.
We cannot do that.
He's gonna turn into Homer Simpson. He's gonna start balding, and then he's gonna have this big pillow on the bottom.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, we can't do that. No. Let's protest before that.
Oh yeah, there'll be like a petition. Save Momoa. Save Momoa.
Danny also says no. No, not with Jason. Oxford says pop bellies make him normal like us. Lol. Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Okay, so my main point here, let's like my own live stream. There we go. My main point here is, they shouldn't be like us. We don't need superheroes to look like us. If they look like us, why would we go look up to them and go, wow, that's a superhero? They shouldn't be like us. They should be like super amazing versions of.
Well, that's the name super.
Exactly.
They're not normal hero. Otherwise, it'd be normal hero. They're superhero.
The superheroes. Yeah, but even heroes, come on.
Well, do you want your firefighter to look like Jason Momoa, or do you want your fighter to look like Homer Simpson? That's the question. Like, if he's coming to rescue you, you'd rather have him grab you with this arm and grab your children with this arm and just leap out the window in one single bound. Not have a hard time getting through the window.
Exactly. They need to be actually capable of doing stuff. They need to have an idea of, okay, this person has muscles and they can probably pick me up, and that's reasonable because they have all that muscle. I mean, I don't know how the hell does it make sense to have a fat Thor. Come on. What is there any reasoning? Do they tell you why this is happening, or is he just
why he's fat?
Yeah,
he got depressed. And because he got depressed, because he lost his family and he lost his whole planet got destroyed, and he failed to kill Thanos. That he drank a whole lot of beer, played a lot of video games, and I'm not joking. He played a lot of video games and ate a lot of potato chips, and that's what happened.
Okay.
And now Thor went from being up here to big chubby guy.
Oh my goodness! Wow. So does he still sort of have his muscles, or because it's kind of?
I guess his arms are still kind of built. You can't really hide that, but his arms are muscly. But he's got a scruffier beard. He looks dirty. He walks around in pajamas the whole time too. It's not even just that. He also has pajamas and he's sweaty and he's kind of gross looking most of it. It is a disgrace what they did.
Yeah. But it's cool if they would, like you said, if they would like make the comeback after that would make sense then. But if it just stays like that, come on. Can't have that. Yeah, but so I've noticed a bunch of these that they just don't seem to care anymore whether superheroes are well, maybe they do care, but they care in the wrong direction. They care making them woke, you know, they care about making them representative. And that's just flat out wrong. They shouldn't be representative. We shouldn't have fat superheroes. This is, there is an actual fat superhero that was fat to start with. Did you know this is called Faith?
No, never
Yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Well, I don't care if he's a superhero. His power is like eating people or eating the villains, and it's fine if it works with his power or something.
It's a girl, and she.
Oh,
The problem is also, I mean, it would be maybe okay if that was the only thing, but she's constantly talking about eating and how she's so, you know.
I want to
all
be
these
just
fat
like her when I
problems.
grow up. That's what all the girls are saying. They want to be just like her, and they want to. If you
It's
eat a lot and you don't, you know, do any crunches or sit-ups, you'll be just like her when you grow up.
Yeah,
That's what we want. We want our kids to have no ambition.
yeah, it's horrible. And then you're supposed to go, oh yeah, yeah, that's. And how is this credible that she's somehow saving anybody, or you know, doing anything impressive? I don't follow. And then
Nancy
she's
says the
constantly
Pie Man is a fat superhero.
okay. Yeah, there's probably kind of ways in it in which it sort of could work, but I don't know. I've looked up this. I've googled this whole ugly superhero thing, and then you still get mostly like ripped guys that maybe their face looks a bit ugly, but you know they're just they have actual muscle. They have all the six pack and all that stuff because you know they're impressive. They're supposed to be impressive.
Well, if you look at the comics, see, this is where it really gets really interesting because the comics, you know, you see the girls and the guys are just ripped. They're always wearing spandex, really, really tight spandex. Like in the movies, they're wearing like leather, but in the comics, they're wearing really ultra tight spandex. It might as well be painted on because you usually see Spider-Man's crotch, his butt crack. You see the whole work, right?
Yes.
You see his nipples through everything. It's just it's like it's painted on suit. Whereas they have leather outfits or you know some kind of graphic or whatever. But it shows a little bit of muscle, but it doesn't. And the girls in the comics are like booming cleavage with like a little thing covering the nipples, and you got the like long legs and the the extended back with the bum protruding outward, and they really like go towards the sexuality in the comics, right? Or they have been. Although now apparently they look like they just look wrong now. But and that's fine because sex sells, and that's what they want. They wanted to sell comics, and comics in itself is a hard medium to sell.
Mm-hmm.
The comic industry has always kind of had problems getting sold and getting bought.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to take every advantage they could, to get people to go buy them. I mean, they've always had to struggle, and they're struggling more now than ever before.
Yes.
And so that's one of the reasons. But hold on, is that my phone? Why is somebody calling? They always call during live streams. I don't know what it is. But yeah, that's that. And I don't think that. I think that is a. Now you look in the movie theater, the movies, and the actresses and whatever. Now they're dictating what they want, and and their whole, like you said, their wokeness or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, but it's not helping anybody. I mean, they think it's gonna sell more because more representative and all that stuff, but it doesn't actually. All these, like the whole woke you go broke thing. It actually is. All these comics are going down the drain because it just like they reimagined Squirrel Girl. I just told you about that.
Yeah, I know I knew of her, but I didn't realize what they had done.
It was it's terrible. It's just you can Google for this. I don't know if I can put it on the screen or I don't think that's possible right now, but you can Google for Squirrel Girl, old and new, and she used to be super cute, like in the probably 60s somewhere. If you look at how old the comics are, she used to be really cute and sexy, and now she's just this.
I don't even know what she is. She doesn't
I
appeal
don't
to anybody.
She
Like
doesn't look.
she looks like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like they almost made her like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes.
Like she was an actual girl that was cute, but now she's like an actual like animal cartoon character.
Yeah, it's like
And not even a good looking Alvin, like a
No.
chunky faced, weird looking Alvin.
Yes.
Like this. Weird faced Alvin.
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, and then I think there was an episode. I didn't actually read this, but I heard it on some YouTube channel. There was an episode where she was supposed to be the one who defeats Thanos because reasons.
Squirrel Girl?
Yeah. It was like, yeah, nobody else can do it.
Because she's got woman power. That's why she's got the power of ovary power.
What? No way. Yeah, but that's the same. That's kind of the same how I felt at the end of the last Avengers movie when they did this little clip of what was it? This text message of "We're calling Captain Marvel now." I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
No. Is that who saves the day here? Oh my.
Yep, she comes like Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day.
Oh no. Oh, Nancy says, look what they did to She-Ra. Okay.
Yeah, if you look at She-Ra, look at what they did to her. They turned her from a hot woman to a little teenage boy with a skirt and shorts.
What? Okay.
Yeah. That's Netflix, by the way.
What? Yeah, she used to be super. Oh, yeah, there's the old one.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah. That was a woman before. Okay. Thanks for that.
She was a woman, now she's a teenage boy.
Yeah.
So that's what you call representation for women. by giving them the boy treatment.
Yes. And also that whole argument is so weird because they're saying like, no, it's okay. And, we should have representation on one end, and then we should be okay with, the boys should be okay with looking at a girl superhero too. And then you're like, but how does that logically hold up? You want women in it because we can only look at women, and otherwise the girls can't have somebody to look up to. And then the boys are fine because they can also they can be fine with a girl superhero too. And they're not making any sense.
Well, no, because they're not making it for people who actually like these things. They're making it for people who want to complain about these things.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's the problem is like representation for girls to actually have, to actually like first of all, it's been my experience that girls like watching the guys. I mean, like I said, the most popular superheroes are the guys. Jason Momoa and Aquaman didn't make $1 billion because it was, the guys cared. It was mostly girls that wanted to see Jason. I remember girls at work were like, "Oh my God, did you see that movie? It was so good. Jason Momoa looks so awesome. He's super." I don't even like superhero movies, but oh my God. And I was just like, yeah, that's no guys are going, "Did you see Captain America? Captain America? Oh my God, his pecs are just awesome." No guys.
No? Oh.
Well, I'm sure there are some guys doing it, but the majority of comic book fans aren't looking at his butt. Or even the girls, like no one really cares whether or not. I mean, yes, we do like Scarlett Johansson, and she's pretty sexy, and I like to see her being sexy as well. But I also want to see her being badass too. Yeah. Just sexy isn't good enough. My problem with these female superheroes is that they never do push-ups. I always find the guys have to be ripped. You notice that there's like a double standard. Guys have to like go to the gym for like an entire 3 years before they can even try to be a superhero. Like, but girls can just go there with their normal body and just do all these things.
Is that true though? I don't know. It seems like somebody like Scarlett Johansson would have to actually work out to.
Well, she works out, but not works out to like be fit.
Yeah, okay. Right? Not like ripped and
like the dedication that it takes to look like Thor and Jason Momoa is incredible.
Yes,
and even like you take a guy like Guardians of the Galaxy, what's his name? Chris Pratt. That guy was a chubby guy. Mm-hmm. He was chubby before he did it. And then he had to really, change his game to be that character. And then he became sexualized. They kept taking his shirt off every chance they got, which was fine. And nobody cared about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just but I really don't have a problem with sexuality. And Gal Gadot is another one. Actually, Nancy brought up a good one because Gal Gadot, she actually did work out. She was actually to become a hero. She was accused of being too skinny for the role.
Hold on, I just noticed my lack of boobs in this.
My lack of boobs is what's the problem. I gotta show mine too. Sorry.
Can't have that. I mean, hold on. I might just have to do it a little bit different. There, and then I just there.
Move the microphone just to the left a little.
There we go.
A little more.
Yeah. It could be
perfect.
Middle. Yeah. And there. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I fixed it for you. You guys could have said something. Hello, all my people. You could have said, "Yo, there's no boobs. What's up with you today?" You're talking about being sexy, and there's no boobs. Okay. Anyway. Gal Gadot did have to train a lot. At least she looks. Yes, she looks like she trained a lot.
No, she's definitely sexy. Like, there's no two ways about it. But if they were to introduce her today, like with the way that they're doing it now, she'd probably look more like Squirrel Girl now.
It wasn't that long ago, right? I don't know.
It was long enough. It was what? When did Wonder Woman come out? It was at least 5 years ago or more.
No, not 5 years.
Time flies.
Hold on. Wonder Woman release date. That was 2 years ago. At least here. I don't know, maybe you got it super early.
You got it late, really, really late. I don't know when it came out, but I know it was well enough time that, well, I don't know. I think it's gotten worse over time. Like, I think since 2016 Ghostbusters, and now like so she says 2017 it came out, Nancy says. So yeah, you were right. It was just 2 years ago. I guess my mind thought it was longer. I don't know why. I think I was thinking of Batman v Superman when she was introduced.
Yeah.
I think that's when I was thinking about. Which actually makes sense because that's when she was introduced. So she was actually hired about way longer than so I'm kind of right because
that's true.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're right. She was already cast
She was already cast and doing her exercise and that stuff, but way before. So I think for that reason, maybe they just they can't change her now. She's already cast. So, but now they'll probably put clothes on her. She'll probably wear a pair of pants, and she's getting more clothes by the minute.
I hope not.
She's not going to wear a tiara anymore. She's going to wear a full mask that goes all the way down.
But they did already do some of the wokeness in there with that secretary woman. So it was going on, but yeah.
Well, it wasn't as bad. I think that her Wonder Woman was handled the best because they didn't. I can handle a little wokeness, just not the kind of wokeness that needs me in the groin every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't like leaving the theater sounding like a chipmunk.
No, I understand that, and it's going way too far. And we, like I said, it's not gonna help anything. It's gonna break everything, and it's just gonna be bankrupt. And oh well.
Well, it's just that the thing is that I think what they're missing is that there's a huge point, like part of the population of girls. I'm going to say women, girls, women that do like to look beautiful, and as much as these woke people like to pretend that like sex isn't a thing in this world, and having a like that doesn't matter to people, then why is the makeup industry so large? Why do so many Instagrammers make this face? Right? They wouldn't be making that face if they didn't want to look sexy. Yeah. Although God knows why they make that face, because I don't think that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but ducks don't appeal to me. But at the same time, these girls, they want to like makeup channels. Makeup channels are crazy. Why? Because they don't want to look sexy. You know what I mean? Girls want to look sexy, so who are they appealing to? They're appealing to a small group of people that are prudes that don't want to see sexy people. Like, no, we all want to see sexy people. Guys, girls, we all do. We share that in common.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly. There's almost nobody that wants this. Oh, wow, your camera keeps...
I don't know. Yeah,
it's every now and then. Sometimes it's fine, and sometimes you go.
Yeah, I don't know what it never does that usually. I think it's epileptic seizures.
Yeah, it's having seizure. It can't handle all the I don't know.
Can't handle all this sexy.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe that's it. Yeah, but they're maybe appealing to, I don't know, feminists or something, but
they're not appealing to them. They don't really care.
They don't go to this theater.
No, they only watch it when it's a cause. When it stops becoming a cause and becomes just normal watching, they don't care. They move on to the next cause. Let's see what else we could do. Yes. Let's go to video games. Let's go to NASCAR racing. There's not enough sexy women in NASCAR. That's what that's what they're going to go next to. They're going to go to the Formula One and just say there's not enough sexy women in Formula One, or not enough women in representation in Formula One.
Right.
So they're going to try and find, they're going to go on to the next thing and, and pose their will on that. And then once that's ruined, move on to the next thing. But the real people, I think it's when I move that it does that.
Stay still.
How's that?
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, but that's I do think there is definitely, like, the majority of the people, I do believe, want to see sexy.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and when you look at people in movies, you want to see, I mean, not just superheroes, but you want to see people you can look up to, that you can admire, that you think are pretty, and not guys and girls, I think. I mean, if it's part of the story somehow, I could see that. I mean, not everybody has to look super hot, but a superhero does, in my book. A superhero needs to look super hot, or it needs to have some kind of reason. Like some of these little rough around the edges characters, they might be a bit more,
like more of a rugged look, rugged handsome, or rugged
handsome, or just plain old ugly, and then still somehow sexy, like Deadpool. It's like this just melted face.
Yeah.
And somehow he's the sex. He's oozing sex. I don't know how they did that.
Well, he's always pointing to his penis every 5 seconds in the movie, so that doesn't help or hurt. But yeah, no, for sure. No, you definitely want some attractiveness in them, right? You definitely want it to be attractive. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you don't necessarily have to be like I always find when they're too sexy, like they're too good looking. Yeah. It also throws you off. Like, it's just almost like it's too much, like a model kind of look. It's a bit too much. You want something like that's kind of like, maybe an 8 out of 10. Guys and girls look good, but still kind of humble looking, relatable in a little way. You still want to have some relation with them and feel like they're, but you still want to look up to them, like a hot. Like, I think Chris Pratt is perfect because his face is kind of like mediocre 6. Right. But his body, after he worked out, was like a solid 8, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So
exactly. But I think that's probably also the most important part, where you have to, the body needs to look like it can lift you up and take you places. 'Cause that's kind of, the superhero thing. It needs to look somehow impressive. And I think you have a few exceptions. Like there's the more mental people, maybe they don't have that because you don't expect that necessarily, but they still kind of the suave, sophisticated look usually have, they have that going for them.
I say go completely sexy. That's what I say.
You say go completely sexy?
Yeah, like just even Professor Xavier from the X-Men, the guy in the
Just
wheelchair.
sex.
Just have him completely just naked.
Naked.
Maybe just he wears like a Speedo.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he's all cerebral. He has no time for clothes. So that's his
Yes.
excuse.
Oh yes. Well, then why ditch the speedo? We can just artistically.
Well, the Speedo is just to get your rating from an R to a PG.
Yes, but you
18.
can artistically cover him up. You just have this thing in the way
A blur.
all the time. Like, no, not a blur.
Yeah, blur.
Like there's this strategically placed lamp or something.
Or you can go completely Mr. Manhattan. Do you remember that from the Watchmen, Mr. Manhattan? The blue guy that was constantly with his penis out the whole movie long.
I haven't seen.
Well, you missed
That
out.
sounds good.
Go look it up. Go Google
Okay.
Mr. Manhattan.
Mr. Manhattan. Okay.
He was on. That was a big movie, The Watchmen. It was a huge blockbuster movie.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
That's what they should do. All heroes should look like that. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
That would sell
Go
comics
for
for sure.
Yes. I do think you kind of strategically have some kind of decoration that's nice. Maybe around the thing, then you can see everything, and then you just have everything.
He was too good for clothes. That's what I thought.
That's cool though. Okay, I've missed out on something.
So yeah, now and then the thing is like you got characters like you said, like Squirrel Girl, who I don't even know who that even appeals to. Like it doesn't. I don't know any girl who says, "Oh, I want to be like that." Like it's just
right.
You guys have to look at her. If you haven't seen her, like go check her out because it's a travesty what they did to this character. Apparently,
yes.
Like I don't know what the heck they were even thinking with that. It's like we want you to like her for who she is, not for her body, and that's kind of what I think. You know what I mean? This whole thing is going for. It's like you have to like them for their personality.
Yes.
You know, like all those.
And their personality is like, like wow, okay.
Yeah, like Captain Marvel. Like they at least give her a personality.
Oh.
We're supposed to like Captain Marvel for her personality, and then they didn't even give her a personality. They forgot.
Oh yeah.
She was stone cold and stone faced the whole time.
Ouch. And her life is also not particularly appealing because she keeps hating on everybody, all the fans, going like, "Oh, you're so nasty." Like, okay, you're not helping.
No, she was an unlikable soul from the beginning, and that's the thing too. You got to be likable too. But I mean, for her, I don't know. I feel like she had ambition that was. I don't think she's legit. I think she's a fraud. I think she's one of those people who Dana said she has no butt. Did you see that one? She's talking about the picture between Spider-Man, who has like Tom Holland, who's got this big butt sticking out.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw somebody posted a picture of that. Yes, it's true. There's just flat. Yeah.
She had to get a butt double, apparently. That's what I heard.
Oh, that's so sad.
They should have given her a double. If you saw her actual stunt, the person who did like her stunt girl or stunt woman, she was really hot, like way hotter than she was, and she had like nice smile and everything. I'm like,
oh, they should have used
the wrong person.
Yeah.
She at least did her own stunts, and she looked like she was nice and had a nice, pretty smile and pretty sexy. And her just.
Maybe they should have given her some acting lessons. Go like, you know what? We take you for the rest of the movie.
The weirdest thing is she won an Academy Award. She won an Oscar for her role. She thinks she'd know how to act.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
But I don't know.
those awards, they're also pretty woke, usually.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure those are representative of any kind of acting ability. The
Well, she
last time I checked, there were a lot of movies in there that were not actually good movies.
Well, they were good movies, but we can argue whether they deserve to win or not. I mean, that's the thing. There tend to be these prestigious, artsy fartsy kind of movies. You know,
Yes.
you're not going to see. You know, you don't usually see the superheroes winning any awards for best acting or whatever. But
Yeah, it's sad.
but why? Because superheroes should win awards.
Why not?
They already dominate the box office. Oh, geez, yeah.
Well, I mean, but that should say something, right? I mean, it doesn't mean like they're going to automatically win, but if they did actually an actual amazing job with acting, they should have a chance at winning such an award, I would say. Dan says, yeah, indeed, the stunt woman would have been way more credible than the Nazi travesty of Miley Cyrus. Okay.
He came in like a wrecking ball, which is what he did.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's your shirt. I've had it once. I mean, the flashing thing with your. Sorry, I'm randomly jumping topic. I've had it once when I had a white thing in my. I was holding a white sheet of paper, and suddenly my camera was like making everything dark, and then I took the white sheet of paper away, and then it was fine again. Maybe it's that.
Who do you think is the sexiest character? Like
the sexiest, like ever?
Yeah. No, like the one that like you want to see swoop in and fly into your bedroom at night and rescue you and then take you away.
All right, let's see. I would. I really liked Wonder Woman for that. She could come into my room any day. Also, if you just look at not just the character, but also her like off screen, she's still super sexy. So that's it. It's a good example. Let's see if I have any more, because I think that it's a fun question. Do you have any that you're like?
Oh, I have too many. No. Okay, the one I want to see, like, first of all, I don't know if you remember Catwoman from Tim Burton's Batman, Michelle Pfeiffer with the black suit.
Oh, yeah.
She was Viagra. I don't care what anybody says.
Catwoman.
Well, she was at that time. Wow. She was like at the whole cat persona, licking herself and all kinds of crazy. I was just wow. That was. She put the girl, baby.
Yeah.
She was shagadelic, man. No, honestly, she's the one that I would like to come into my bedroom window at night. And Supergirl kind of. I don't know. There's something about the Supergirl suit that I really like.
Okay.
But not the one from the show. The one from the original movie from the 1980s.
Okay.
It was a cutesy kind of thing, but like it's not sexy so much, but cute. But I really liked her. I don't know what it is.
1980s. Yeah. Wow. There's some really awful pictures as well. But okay. Mm-hmm.
Nancy says Henry Cavill as Superman was the hottest Superman.
I can see that.
I guess if you're going with hot as Superman, yeah, I guess that's true. Although I do still think Christopher Reeve's face is better than Henry Cavill's face, but his body, mind you, yeah, Christopher Reeves worked out pretty hard, but you couldn't really tell because they didn't have the proper material to really go around and like do like what they do now with the outfits. But I don't know. I'm there's so many. There's just too many to like. Yeah. They come in your window, bring you loving.
I would. Loving. I mean, I'm pretty gay, but Jason Momoa can come to my window. I mean, that's fine. I can do that.
I smell fish. Jason Momoa. Just
Oh,
throwing it
that
out.
girl. I don't remember what she's called. She's also pretty hot. The one in the same movie with the that was helping him. Oh, somebody. Probably Danny knows. Once she the lag.
Which one?
In the Aquaman movie, there was this girl helping Aquaman.
Oh, yeah. I
Don't
know what you're
remember.
talking about.
She's
She was his brother, his girlfriend or something, right? You talking about the girl that was married to the actress was married to
yes.
Mira. Her name is Mira. Married to
Thank you, Nancy.
yeah, it was married to what's his name? Captain Jack Sparrow, the actor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was her.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
She was all right. I mean, she's okay. She doesn't really do it for me. I don't know why.
I used to have a giant thing for Angelina Jolie. When I was 16, I was so the Tomb Raider movie and that outfit and I was very into her at the time.
Yeah, yeah, Angelina Jolie. She's she's a god. She's shagadelic. No, honestly.
I don't have it as much anymore. I find the lips a little distracting.
Well, she has too much stuff. I think she had too many things done. I find. I don't know. Maybe she didn't. Yeah, her face is kind of like sucked in a bit. Age just weathered her a little bit.
Yes.
Age has weathered her bad. But
Yeah.
Xena. Someone for Dana says Xena from.
Oh, yes. Oh, giant thing for her too. Thank you for reminding me, Danny. Stina, the warrior princess. And also the girl was also kind of cute, the one that's her sidekick. But Xena,
Oh yeah.
yes. Xena's so kick ass. Come into my bedroom.
All at the same time. Jason Momoa, Xena, Mira.
I have a giant orgy. Yes. Go for it.
It's a super orgy.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Let's do it. Yes. Anyway, yes, that's how you should feel about your. Let's get back to the topic. That's how you should feel about your superheroes. You should go, yes, I want to have sex with you. I think that should be part of the whole package. And even I think there's a few of them that aren't super sexualized in the movie or the series. Like, for example, Doctor Who is an example of that. He's always kind of pushing the sexual love interest away, but he's still very, very sexy. Most of them. I mean, not everyone, every single person.
Well, I mean,
Some of them are a little bit okay.
Sexy could also be in your personality. You could be
Yes.
you could dress like an Amish woman and still be sexy, just depending on how you act, right? It's sexy,
Yes.
I mean, that's why there's a whole porn industry derived around, sexy nuns and sexy, there's just some like taboo thing that also could be sexy even though they're like completely covered, like there's like the librarian. I mean, how many
Yes.
guys actually go to a librarian and say, wow, I want to do her, but really, they can somehow sexualize a librarian and still find, it's sexy is in the eyes of I think it's how it's set up too, right? Like, innocence sometimes is sexy. Like having an innocent character, like Squirrel Girl could be sexy because she's just so innocent. I just want to tear her apart, which is horrible, but it's also true in a way. Right. Spider-Man is sexy, but he's a little boy. And everyone's like, not a little boy, but he's like a teenager, and all these girls, I just like him. He's so cute. I want to pinch his cheeks and his butt cheeks.
Yes. Dan says, not a superhero, but a long time ago, Diana Rigg in the Avengers. I don't remember.
Who? Diana Rigg, the Avengers? I don't know. So Death by Saber says, I'm in the bath filled with bubbles, and yes, I want the whole cast of Game of Thrones to join me.
Right. I like oh, what's her name? Charisse Van Houten, like her. Diana Rigg, The Avengers. Oh, her. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I can see that. That's way back. How old are you?
Don't answer that.
I know the answer. She's not actually that old.
I keep going into a time portal where I just vanish.
But she's kick ass. I can see that. Emma Peel, was it? Yeah.
And there's something sexy about a girl who actually kicks ass. I think part of the prestige of Scarlett Johansson's character is the fact that she kicks ass, right?
Yes.
If she didn't kick ass, I think that's also sexy too, is to have a girl actually kick ass, like to have her do sexy poses, and not poses, but like, do the kicks and all that. That's something sexy about all of that, right?
Right.
There's like Captain America grabbing that helicopter and just pulling it down with his bicep, just pulling it like showing that manly man. That was, I'm pretty sure girls thought that was sexy. Oh my God, I'm just so wet right now. No, girls did that. But I think there's different ways of being sexy, and you don't always have to be dressed sexy. You know what I mean? Like sometimes even the more naked you are, the more boring you are too. If you know what I mean. Yes. Boring in the sense that you get used to it.
Yes, yes, you get used to it. Yes.
Like the blue girl from X-Men. What's her name? What's her name? She's painted on. Her whole costume's painted on.
Okay.
I want to say her name is Mystique. Mystique is her name.
Yes.
She's sexy, but at some point you start forgetting that she's half naked.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then the rest of it comes down to her personality and how she acts, and she still has to be sexy on top of that, because it's like you get used to certain things. Like I said, there's probably Amish that just get all like, "Oh my God, hey Hamish, you see her ankles? What a slut!" She's just showing a little ankle. Her socks were not all the way up to her knee, Hamish.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, you're right. But you get used to it. Yeah, that's why I said maybe if you go all out with the whole nudity thing, then you should have decoration. You can still show everything, but just have an actual suit and have them decorated, because then it shows their character. The way they choose to dress themselves. It also shows who they are and their character, and that's definitely a thing. And the nudity in that way can be a little boring. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean, once you become desensitized, and that's almost a shame, because you don't want to be desensitized to it. You still want it to kind of be,
sexy.
You kind of want it to be like, like boing, like a surprise every once in a while.
Yes.
When you see it too often, it's just like, oh, boobs. Oh,
yes.
But you don't want that. You want that shock that, wow, boobs. No, you don't want, oh, boobs.
More boobs. I see boobs.
More boobs. I'm tired of boobs. Where's my cigars? Just.
Yeah. Okay, but there should be a nice pair of boobs, right? And you
Well,
can still be surprised by a really
there's
nice
all kinds of boobs, man. There's short boobs, long boobs.
Absolutely, but you could. I think there's still among all the boobs, you could still go, wow, you have really nice boobs. And there's definitely lots of boobs are nice.
To me, I'm less important than boobs. I like the nipple. The nipple for me is the thing.
Oh, okay.
Because you can hide the boobs. The funny part is when you the nipple for me is the more attractive thing than the boob itself. The boobs are attractive. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more of a nipple guy myself.
Danny says she will never get bored with boobs and nipples.
Never ever.
No, never. I'm not sure. I might get used to it, Dan. I think he has a point that I might get used to it and then go like, oh yeah, then boobs.
Well, it's like an elbow. At some point, if you were to hide your elbow your whole life and no one saw your elbow,
yes,
and then suddenly you decide to show off your elbow one day, I think a lot of guys would be like, wow, check out the elbow on this chick. It's so pointy.
Yes, but it's missing the heart energy. And that's why boobs are impressive. That it's not the roundness and the it's
No, you can
we
make an
think
elbow
that is,
lifting
but it's
around.
also the energy here. The if somebody is pretty on the inside, you can see that. You can see that.
You mean like you're looking deep within the chest area is what you're saying, into the
Yeah,
heart.
you can see, like you need
Between
to
the
actually
boobs, there's a
stare.
heart. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes. You need to stare a little bit there, and then you can see.
You have to look through the nipples into the heart.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. I completely agree. So why do girls look at guys' packages so much? My heart is nowhere near there.
Oh yeah, that's a good
And I
point.
catch girls doing that all the time. I do. They're always taking a quick peek at the package, and then they're like, "There's my heart's not down there, baby. My heart's here. My heart is here."
So you should just
Or is
go
it here? No, it's here. It's here. It moves sides.
Look here, man. This is where it's happening.
This is where all the good stuff is. For a guy, it's a different area, though.
Right. Yeah, maybe it's just they want to check you out. That's definitely possible.
It's the erogenous zone, baby. That's what it is. It's erogenous. It's what it is. It's the sexualized parts, right? Because it's for a girl, it's a sensitive area, just in touch, right? You know, touching it is sensitive. Guys, you could do this. It's pretty less. It's not that sensitive. It's, this doesn't hurt or feel very much, right? But our zones are more lower, below the belt, and so if you flick those areas, you get a little sensitive there. Right. Whereas girls have multiple sensitive areas than more than guys do. So I think
possibly.
Maybe we pick up on that in some sort of weird psychological, air thing that we could pick up on that, like that it's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it doesn't have to be weird. Just go, okay, where would you like to be touched or something? Yeah, that could be.
Well, no, it's just that we we inherently know where is the sensitive areas, and so we just become attracted to that instantly.
I was trying to read Death by Sabers.
8D.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it's like a long face, a face with a long nose or something.
But what about the argument that some people have? The argument that some people have about, too sexual for kids, too sexy for kids. Like if you're having, you know what I mean? If you're having superheroes be too sexy and kids are watching it, is that, do we have to be responsible? I'm just throwing out a different argument altogether. Right. Something.
I don't think so. See, I don't find it very much, unless some, I could see how some people might object to super sexualized like scenes, something like that. That maybe. I mean, I don't have a super issue with that. I rather have just plain sex on screen than violence. I really don't see.
There is a bit of a double standard when it comes to trying to raise your kids. Violence seems to be okay, but love and sex seems to be a taboo for some reason.
That's really weird. That's that aside. I really don't have that much of an issue with it, but I can see how some people might. But this whole just sexy clothing, I don't see why that's a problem necessarily.
Well, you see, like there's a whole lot of these girls that like women, and they talk about. I've heard them argue about Barbie and how like, it's an unnatural vision of a female form, and I don't want my child to grow up feeling bad about herself because she can't fit into that Speedo the way that Scarlett Johansson could, kind of deal.
Well, yes, okay, but then that's already a thing, right? I don't see how seeing less naked bodies is going to fix that necessarily. You have comics, you have Barbies that are just actual toys for kids that have these kind of shapes. And if you want to do something about that and give people a more realistic view, we should just all together collectively be less uptight about nudity and just be more nude around our kids, and less so, oh my god, I can't do that. If you would just relax about that stuff, then kids and they would just see nude people from the moment.
Just offhand, if I saw my dad naked more often as a kid, I would have nightmares. I don't think I want to see my dad
you wouldn't,
walking
though,
around
because
naked.
but you would grow up with it. You wouldn't. You would grow up with it. You just think it's perfectly normal.
I remember seeing him in the shower, it just threw me off. Oh no!
Of course, because you grew up with it
You're
being
right. You're right.
being like this thing that never happened, and then you get all like, oh wow, I shouldn't have seen that. But my kids and all the kids that hang around this house every now and then, like my friends' kids, they're really used to just occasional nudity. We hang out at the nude beach, all that kind of thing. It's just like a lifestyle, and they're totally used to it, and they hang out. If they want to be nude, they can be nude. We never had a problem with it, and we teach them kind of boundaries. We teach them, look, you can't do that right in the window because people might get nervous or afraid or stuff like that. And it's also illegal for some weird reason. But that's an issue. So you have to teach them just basic rules about it. But I try not to teach the kids that hang around here that it's a problem, that is somehow you should be ashamed of yourself, of your body or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so they've seen lots of boobs, and one of the kids is really adorable about it. She's very often like, don't you wear a shirt sometimes? like yes. and oh, okay. And do you wear underwear? Like she's just curious, and she asks questions, and then I answer the way I see fit. But I don't think it should be such a big deal, and if we don't make a big deal about it, then they would see lots of nude people when they grow up, and they would have a much more realistic view of what people look like. And sure, the superhero version is going to be an idealized view and possibly photoshopped view of what people look like.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that.
Look, the peak, performance of what a human could probably look like.
But it should be something to aspire to. I think that's not a problem. I mean,
well, that's what superheroes are for. They're for inspiring us. They're not for being like us. If they were, we don't want them. They're there for inspiration. They're there to be like our betters, and they're like the gods of the modern age, right? They're there to be to teach us the better way and to be the better. And so you want them to have the fit body, to look their prime, because this way, that's what we should aspire to be, even though it's not always attainable for most people to be that way. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't always aspire to it or try, you know what I mean, to be healthy, because there's nothing wrong with being healthy. That's the whole thing about a lot of it. Is this like this, we forget of the health factors in a lot of this stuff. So it's like to say like we have a fat superhero, and it's like, that's fine, but it's also not healthy. And I don't see how, it's unrealistic to assume that a really fat superhero is going to be doing all the gymnastics and stuff that's required to do a lot of these work, and to do it, and then to have them do it kind of sets an unrealistic precedent where you're like, hey, anyone could do gymnastics, and then you have a lot of people trying it, and then they're in the heart attack.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And this is not something, I mean, if we're talking about a problem of somebody to aspire to, or a problem of what's to show our kids and not show our kids, I'd rather not that they go like, "Ooh, this is amazing, and I want to be just like this fat superhero." I mean, I totally understand that I have personally have this problem as well, and I'm working on it, but I don't see it as a healthy thing. I don't think I don't advocate for being fat. I think it's something that we should work on and become more healthy, right? I'm trying to read the comments a little bit too.
My favorite. I'm light-skinned individual. That
You can answer that one. He asked you directly.
30 Shades of Darker. Why is that? Valentino? My dog is 30 Shades of Darker than me.
Anyway, yeah, but I want the kids around here to aspire to be fat. I mean, that's not something that's healthy, like you said. Yeah.
Well, anybody who says that, I find it's also like everybody has had challenges with weight. Everybody, I have, everybody has had some challenge with weight, whether it's too skinny or too fat. There's a challenge at some point. And you, some people work on it, some people don't. But those people who say to themselves that, you know, I'm okay with it. I think it's delusional, to be honest. I don't think that anyone is necessarily okay with it. They want to pretend they're okay with it.
Yes.
And I think they want others to be okay with you, you know, the way you are.
Right.
And that's fine. I don't think you should ridicule anybody or put anybody down for it. Right. And it's a challenge, and we all have to fix it, or if we can. But to ridicule is not appropriate. But at the same time, ridiculing something and aggrandizing it or making it part of like acceptable in culture. It's like acceptable in the sense that it's normalizing it, right? You can't normalize it because it's not. It is an unhealthy situation that people tend to be. It's like saying being an alcoholic should be normalized. It's my condition. I'm an alcoholic. I can't control myself. I drink too often. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying like a condition that we have to that we just say, oh, I am this way, and I can't stop myself. So we should all normalize it.
Yes. I had a discussion about this on Twitter. Well, that's been a couple months by now. They were talking about this weird idea of that people have thin privilege. They were going like, okay, I wasn't aware that I've been, of course, thin all my life, and that's privileged me, and I've we need to realize that we have thin privilege, and that some people, they can't just go into a store and grab anything, and I'm like, excuse me, this is not something that is any way comparable. I mean, even if okay, there's all this wokeness, and I'm not on board with any of that, but this is something you can fix. You're not stuck being fat. You can fix it. And if you're going like, oh, I'm so helpless and so bad that I can never go into any store and grab clothes, come on.
Well, that's the thing too. A lot of it is lifestyle choice. I mean, I'm not saying that there are people who have slower metabolisms and who have to work harder than others.
Yes.
But so what? There are some people who in school are not as smart as others and still have to do the same curriculum and still have to get the same grades. It's just a fact of life that some people just have certain advantages over other people with certain things. But that's just the way of life. We're all different. We have pros and cons to all of us, right? Some people are taller. Some people better athletic. Some people have more, some people have, could see better. There's just so many things. We can't sit there and adjust reality for every single problem and just the way we look at. There is a standard that we all kind of agree on, it's like saying someone who has glasses, it's not her fault. She's got glasses or she can, or, like, you know what I mean? Like you can't see 20/20. Right. But some people pick on people who have glasses. It's 4 eyes and, stupid stuff like that. She's a nerd. But, it's not at all her fault she had glasses or wear glasses and doesn't have 20/20 vision. But that's also not a standard. We don't want to start normalizing bad eyesight. It's just, you know what I mean? We don't want everyone to aspire to have glasses. It's not, we want to better it,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You can't everyone, it's just not my fault that I just can't walk into a room and see everything right off the bat.
Yes.
There are differences in how we are, and we have to acknowledge that. Like I said, you don't pick on people for it. You don't make fun of people for it, but you definitely don't try and normalize it.
No, and you don't have to be represented by every single movie character out there. Like, okay, we need one with glasses and we need one with curly hair, and we need one that's really tall, and not one that's really short. And oh, come on.
We need one with moles on this side and this side, and we need ones with noses just slightly elevated, and ones with big noses, ones with thin lips and big lips. Everyone has to have representation.
Yes.
One with
or
no
else
neck.
we cannot relate.
I represent the no neck people. And I want my heroes to have no neck because I am not represented. We just have a bunch of no neck heroes showing off their nipples.
Insane. Yes.
Well, like, there's a certain level where we say representation. How far do we go with that, right? And like, you know, that's the whole thing. I do understand we should try our best to get everybody represented and show people, but to the point where now it's legitimately getting like, you know, like for instance, did you see the superhero movie trailer that just came out? The the Batwoman.
Yes, I saw.
Okay, well, what I'm thinking, when she first was announced, the actress, because she's a lesbian superhero, right?
Right.
But the actress is bisexual. So apparently she doesn't represent the true lesbian community, and the lesbian community called her out and said, well, why can't we have a pure lesbian actress playing a lesbian character? And they're like, what is going on here?
Oh.
Like, I thought, first of all, you didn't even have to be a lesbian character to play lesbian. That's why it's called acting.
Exactly.
It's not being, it's acting.
Yes.
You know? So, first of all, the fact that you even got a lesbian at all is, you should see, thankfully she got that. But no, you know,
yes.
It's like you can't make everybody happy. Everyone's just, you know, trying to nitpick at every little thing. It's like, it doesn't look like me enough.
Yes.
You know, she doesn't wear plaid shirts, and I'm sorry. She's like, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't look like our community as much. She doesn't represent us.
Did you know? Okay. Did you know about the keychain thing? There's this apparently there's this thing that lesbians always have, this giant key holder thing, right? I didn't know this until I started noticing this with lots of people, and then I heard that this is actually a thing. This is actually
really?
It's actually a thing that people talk about, like, okay, lesbians, if you want to tell if somebody is a lesbian, you should look for the giant key like this. I can show you my keys if you're interested, but it's like this.
So you have one.
Holder. I have one. And then all my friends have one, and I'm like, oh, that's odd. I wasn't doing it on purpose.
Are you talking about one of those like long like things that all the keys, like that thing, like that like round?
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if that's some kind of psychological.
Apparently, in the 80s or 90s or something, they did it for recognizability. You know, like the pocket, the
earring on the other side. Yeah, the guys had to wear the earring on the other side.
Yeah, so it used to be a thing like that, and for practicality, I guess, and you could recognize the butch girls by their keychains because, you know, it's practical.
So basically, if Batwoman doesn't sport one of them keychains, she's not a true lesbian. So we got to look out for that. That'll be the next point of contention when she comes out with a normal keychain, and everyone's like, "That doesn't represent our community."
She must be a fake.
Fake lesbian. I'm calling her out.
Yeah, it's so weird. Okay, I do that apparently. Danny said, the gold star stuff. Do you know about the gold star stuff that Danny's talking about?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, apparently, I heard this after as well. So this lesbians who have never had sex with a guy, they are called gold star lesbians.
No.
Yes.
Gold star lesbians.
Yes.
Okay, so is that like does that referring to like like a school, like you know, when you're in school, you did something good, you get a gold star. Is that what it's supposed to mean? Like, good for you, woman. You don't need a man. Here's a gold star for you.
Something like that. I don't know who made this up. But...
Well, I'm a gold star heterosexual, baby. I ain't never seen no dick.
Never seen one even.
Not even my own. I don't look down at all. I'm under the impression it's huge, though.
Yeah, but that's really messed up. I was like, what? You're allowed to experiment, right? You're allowed to figure out what you want, and then
no, you don't get a sticky to put on your little work.
No,
and your homework.
I can't have a star anymore. No.
They're gonna walk around with gold stars on their forehead for every girl they have sex and not guy. Says, here's a gold star for you. Here's another one. Here's another one. And just walk around with 5 gold stars on their forehead.
I wonder if people actually put this on the profile or something. I've never actually looked for it, but I wonder if people do that. They just put this little gold star next to their name. I don't know if this is a thing.
Well, I mean, if you have to experiment, like I understand. First of all, that in itself, I'm just going to talk about that for just a half a second because I'm just going to talk about how ludicrous that is. And the reason is like you talk about a community that is trying to not put people down and trying not to make them feel excluded. You know what I mean? And you're already creating a hierarchy system among people who are already confused as it is. I mean, confused in the sense that growing up, it's a confusing time for a teenager, not knowing what they are, and then having to experiment, like you said, and then going through the trials of, oh, wait a minute, this penis doesn't do it for me. I need something a little more round and soft and wet. So they... They tried the butthole. That didn't work either. Anyway.
Right.
Sorry.
So
then, you know, they tried it a couple of times, and because for their efforts, and then finally they realized, hey, I'm not gay. I mean, I'm not straight, so I'm gay.
Yes.
Well, it's good that you found this out, but you're not pure gay like the rest of us. It's like now we got to put them down because they had to figure this out, and now they're like, why are we still trying to make separating, you know, classes between, you know, I thought it's a good thing that got, like, when they say I'm coming out of the closet, isn't it a good thing to, like, you know, to encourage them? Maybe you should get a gold star for actually realizing that the truth of what you feel. Here's your gold star, not because I knew straight out of the womb.
Yeah.
Because I saw my mother's, I said, that's what I want. And I never looked back.
Or you should get gold stars for every single thing you tried. Like, okay, you've tried a threesome, star. You've tried that.
Yeah.
You've tried.
I tried Cheerios on my face.
You know, you've been around the block. Here, have some stars. It's nice.
Yeah, I'm a 5-star general. Look at me go.
Yeah.
I got badges everywhere. Guys,
nice.
He's been around. Look at that guy. Well, I think that's a great idea, actually, for anything. You should get stars for everything you do.
Yes.
Anything you try.
Yes.
But if you don't try anything, and you shouldn't get no star for never trying something new. You don't get no stars. Sorry, gold star women.
Yes.
I'm taking all your stars away. You don't deserve.
Yay.
You tried one. It's like I get gold star for like being a foodie, but I've only tried one food. And I was like, oh, I like this McDonald's burger and no other burger is just as good.
It makes no sense. You're right. That makes no sense. Yeah.
So we've started a new trend here right now, guys.
Stars.
We're gonna reward platinum stars to people who've tried. Screw your gold. We want to go above gold. Yes. Platinum stars.
For all the things you've tried. If you tried a new thing.
Anything. It doesn't even like. I tried a sandwich with peanut butter and pickles. There's the star for you. You lived through it.
Absolutely.
I tried cyanide. It didn't go well.
Oh, that's a one-time deal.
Yeah, but at least you tried. Give them all the stars.
You can come back as a Force ghost.
Oh my God. Just remove the stars. Now it's Star Wars.
Yeah. We could totally come up with a better Game of Thrones ending. We have way better ideas.
Well, instantly it would have been better if everyone was naked. That's right away.
Yeah.
Instantly,
Although
we're
they did
talking
that
about
a
a better
lot
game.
already. I mean,
Like
they gotta give them credit. They do that a lot already.
no, but I mean more. Just like everyone is naked. Targaryen.
more.
Everyone came out
Everybody.
naked.
Gets
That right away, more intrigue.
yes.
No, naked.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's better. Okay. Anyway,
On that note,
I think we've sort of covered the whole topic, right?
Yep.
Do you have more to add?
No, I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
You
All
did a
right.
really good job.
I really like to. I really enjoy our live streams so far.
Yeah,
It's
we
been
always
2 now, but I really
we got a
like
good chemistry. We tend to go crazy at times, but that's good.
Yes, that's good. Crazy's good. Yes. And thank you all for watching. I enjoyed that there were so many people and so many things said that we can actually talk to you guys a little bit. It's really nice. Yeah, I think does it for today. Thank you for being on the live stream, Shanie. And
thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Maybe we'll do it again.
You're the hostess with the mostest, baby.
Thank you. Maybe we'll do it again sometime soon. We'll have maybe we can do a threesome. We can add someone else in. I don't know how that works.
Sure, that'd be awesome. We go foursome, we fivesome.
Yeah.
Get a whole party.
Get a whole party in here, and then blah blah blah. Yeah. Do you know what's his name? Comic artist Pro Secrets. He sometimes does this huge chat with some other folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. They do a lot of like really. I don't like them too big because then everyone has to fight to say something, and there's some people that kind of get left out, and some people who are like big mouths like me, and
that's the same. That's also how it works with
with life. If you can't represent yourself, that's your problem. You sit in a corner and be quiet.
I'm willing to try it because I'm gonna get myself some stars here. I
right. Let's do it.
Tried with 3 or 4 or 5.
Platinum.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, cool. Okay, we'll talk about this.
We'll do it. Won't you, Death favor?
Probably.
He'll come on. He'll come on anytime.
Cool. Okay, and I will see you all in the next video and in the next live stream. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I go here and so